The statues on the plinth were the same as the ones in the Marquez family photograph, and their colors matched the characters in Simeon's manuscript. I was definitely onto something. That wouldn't work. There was no fuel to light in the fireplace, just dust and a few spiders. The stone fireplace was old and dusty. That wouldn't make any sense. That was never going to work. That would be pointless. The fireplace was imposing. The fireplace was imposing. The statues on the plinth were the same as the ones in the Marquez family photograph, and their colors matched the characters in Simeon's manuscript. I was definitely onto something. That wouldn't work. That wouldn't have worked. Nope, I needed to try something else. They didn't go together. Never in a month of Sundays. The thought of Trevor armed with a paperclip intrigued me, but I had no way to attach it to him. The thought of Trevor armed with a paperclip intrigued me, but I had no way to attach it to him. They didn't go together. Never in a month of Sundays. They didn't go together. It didn't work. That wasn't quite right. That wouldn't have. If I looked hard enough, I'd find... The illustration showed a group of colored figures engaged in some sort of ritual. The blue and green figures appeared to be in control. The crowd in the foreground were colored red. I guessed it was a representation of the ritual in the text. The similarity between the Castell fireplace and the illustration couldn't be a coincidence. The first passage read, "And thus spoke the accused. In this ritual we find succor. Clad in blue, the perfecti take the form of the spiritual, and look towards the rising sun, toward the tree of knowledge. Clad in green, the credentes look the other way, towards the setting sun, where stands the tree of life." I wondered what it all meant. The statues on the plinth were the same as the... and their color. I was... Hey, Nico.
Are you sure the statues are both in the right position?
The statues on the plinth were the same as the ones in the Marquez family photograph, and their colors matched the characters in Simeon's manuscript. I was definitely onto something. There was no fuel to light in the fireplace, just dust and a few spiders. Yeah, I decided against doing that again. I had to get closer before trying that. I'd put some statues above. The plinths looked like they could be rotated. The first passage read, "And thus spoke the accused. In this ritual we find succor. Clad in blue, the perfecti take the form of the spiritual, and look towards the rising sun, toward the tree of knowledge. Clad in green, the credentes look the other way, towards the setting sun, where stands the tree of life." I wondered what it all meant. The first passage read, "And thus spoke the accused. In this ritual we find succor. Clad in blue, the perfecti take the form of the spiritual, and look towards the rising sun, toward the tree of knowledge. Clad in green, the credentes look the other way, towards the setting sun, where stands the tree of life." I wondered what it all meant.
What is this? A staircase. I never knew. We must go up. We don't have much time. Stairs. Always stairs.
Oh my God, look at this.
Georges? Georges! What's this? A piece of burnt paper with the word Wolfram. That sounds familiar.
Wolfram. I curse that name forever.
What do you know about Wolfram, senor?
Wolfram. I spit on the name.
So you have lived here for a long time?
All my life. My father served here before me. In fact, he named me after Senor Xavier's favorite saint, Saint Ramon, patron saint of the falsely accused.
That's nice.
Not really. The Moors put a padlock.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess there's a lesson there for all of us. What is Wolfram?
It was a mining company, run by a murdering swine called Ganon. In the Civil War, they backed the fascists. In return, Ganon was given soldiers to do his dirty work. They came here, brought their bloody war to this house, and killed Senor Xavier.
They shot Xavier? Senor Marquez's father?
I was just a boy, but I remember like it was yesterday. Shot him and his friend Hernandez, like animals.
Why did they come here?
They were searching for something, but they brought death with them. But there is one thing I have never understood. Xavier tried to escape through the library. But the library windows are barred. It is a dead end.
This Kenan, who was he?
He was Swiss, a businessman, and a murdering swine.
So what did he want here?
I don't know. When he wasn't torturing the locals, he disappeared to the library. Spent weeks in there, making notes and studying maps. His men, they crossed the whole of Catalonia searching for something.
Did they find it?
Who knows? One day, Gainen just disappeared. He never came back. An accident, perhaps, in the mountains. May his soul rot in hell. The soldiers didn't stay long to search for him. They hated him too.
The name Genan was familiar. He was the person who had tried to buy La Maledicción. A coincidence? Perhaps.
There is no such thing as coincidence.
So, when the soldiers left, you took back the house?
Yes. A few years later I returned and cleaned the place up. It broke my heart. I locked the library. I could not bear to touch Gainen's papers.
Can I have a look at the library?
No. I have kept it locked to honor the memory of Senor Xavier.
Please, this is important.
I lost the key.
You lost it?
That evening when I locked it up, I drank to the memory of Senor Xavier. The cellars were well stocked, Senora. It was a long night. I hid the key, then forgot where I hid it, so it is lost. That was all that was left in the morning. I haven't touched a drop since.
I needed to find out what Ganon had been working on in that library. George, are you there? The grate had locked back into place. George had always been good at disappearing acts. The plants at least were thriving in the rubble. The plants at least were thriving in the rubble. The door was locked. I had to find the key. I wondered where Ramon could have hidden it. An intricate mosaic adorned the floor. No, I needed a better idea. No, that would never have worked. I needed to try something else. An intricate mosaic adorned the floor. No, that would never have worked. It was a nice idea, but wouldn't have worked. That wouldn't have worked. The internal courtyard had been beautiful once. Even overgrown like this, it had a serenity. I decided to leave the painting for later. According to the sundial, it was mid-afternoonish. That wasn't worth trying. The wind chime looked like it was made from old cans. Eva, I am glad your father is safe.
He's old and foolish. He shouldn't be here, but he wouldn't listen to me. I suppose he's still going on about that paint